Yes, it's Monday, a new video today. So, oh my God, what a crazy ass week, guys. I mean, it was bound to happen to me. Do you know what I'm saying? I am absolutely useless when it comes to technology. I am learning and I'm getting so much better than what I ever used to be, but I've got a long way to go. My little man, JJ, is probably far better than I ever am. Give me a barbell, I'd smash anybody, but give me technology, give me how the system and algorithm works and all of this stuff. I mean, can I just say a big thank you, because there's been a couple of you that obviously work in, I'm not suggesting maybe it's not Instagram, but it might be some kind of social media thing. And yeah, you've been really lovely and contacted me and was like, you need to do this, put the bell on. I didn't even know there was a bell at the top. Just little things. I kid you not, it took me almost 8-9 months of being on Instagram. You know them messages that you get on your DMs? I didn't realise that if you double tapped it, that it liked the message. I somehow stumbled across this by chance. Yes, this is the degree of what we're working with. So yeah, it's, look, I should have done what I've done this week, or last week, sorry, with the new page. But hindsight has 20/20 vision. And I was reluctant, to do it, because the page was still there and everybody was a community, and it was just like, oh, I've worked so hard to build it where it is, and now this, and it was just, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's not even been a week, guys, and we're almost up to 10K. I mean, that is incredible. Now, I'm not going to go on and on and on about this for 15 minutes. I've actually got a list to go through. First on the list is Mr. Titcrease Stevens, yes, aka the husband. Now, I'm not going to slag him off, and I can't call it slagging off when I video chat with you guys, because this is like my Dear Diary moment. If I don't talk to my camera or you every Monday and just release a bit of steam about this man, then I don't know what will happen. Seriously. I mean, I love him. You know I do. I would never be without him. We are two peas in a friggin' pod. Sometimes I can't stand him, and I'm gonna. And then other times I'm like, oh, you're so cute. You know, we are meant to be. But no matter what, everything I say on here, I say to his face. Everything I take the mick out of him for, I say to his face. So I don't think it's slagging him off behind his back, because everything I say to you guys, I actually say worse to him, believe it or not. Well, actually, you probably thought that anyway. I mean, the beginning of last week, I had enough stress to contend with. I mean, the man comes in. I love training, I do. I really genuinely do. I'm not always motivated, because motivation can come and go. I mean, sometimes it falls right out my arse and I can't get it. I'm like, no, don't really want to do this today, but I do it because I've formed a good habit. Now, with Simon, he went back over his last little bit of, you know, we're going to wake up, I'll let you do the shake. I can't even be bothered to disarm the alarm. So every time I come down the stairs, it's woo, woo, and I'm like, oh, here we go. I do the shake. We have our pre-workout shake. He's got his robe on. And he's like, oh, it's cold. I didn't sleep well. And I'm like, okay. Yep. And then we go upstairs, and then he does the same thing. He gets into bed, puts some shit on YouTube or something that's going on in the world, in the news, depressing stuff, because it is, while I clean my teeth and I'll get ready, and I'm like, right, coming in. And he's like, yeah, I'll be down in a minute. And I'm like, really? I've like done my 20-minute mobility warm-up before he's down. And then to top it all off, this week, he cut his thumbnail too short. So the one day at the moment that our kind of splits are connected is our deadlift day, because I stopped deadlifting when I hurt my back last year. And it does put you off a little bit. It kind of like, well, yeah, I think I'm going to leave that out a little bit. Maybe I'll concentrate on something else and give the back a rest. Especially while I'm dealing with mobility issues, because lifting heavy, it's going to magnify the issues so much more. And the last thing you want to do is continue on strength training with mobility issues, because all it's going to do is just solidify those problems. I wish that at the beginning of my lifting career, my lifting age, whatever you want to call it, I wish I had addressed mobility a lot sooner, and then I probably would be in a far better position with my strength. And I'm a strong bunny. But anyway, so we deadlift together on a Thursday before I do my hip thrust sets. And we would, I was warming up, doing my normal. I do about 2-3 warm-up sets before I get into my working weight. And my working weight is significantly lower than what it used to be, which mentally I have to leave my ego at the door for. But anyway, so Simon comes in and he's fannying around with cable pulley machine, doing some tricep shit. And I'm like, babe, why are you doing your triceps? We're working our back. We're going to go for deadlifts. It's deadlift day. It's our day. If he was doing some lat pull downs, trying to activate his lats before the deads, then I could kind of understand it. But I'm thinking, what are you doing with your triceps? Why are you pre-exhausting your triceps? Anywho, he was not pre-exhausting. He was actually training. So his first move of the day, instead of it being a compound move like we've spoken about, how many times? I am a good trainer. I know that. I train and I'm a good programmer. So I program compound moves first when we're fresh. Why are you doing cable pulley machine before you do your deadlifts? Yeah, babe, I can't deadlift today because I cut my thumbnail too short and it really stings. It's throbbing. I mean, that one sentence alone was enough to emasculate him. I took the piss out of that man all day because of that. All day. Everything was, baby, you sure you can do that? Are you sure you can do that? Is your thumb okay? Did he regret that? I've got to be honest though, we had a little chat, and this was a couple of days after the deadlift. So we're coming up to the weekend, and he on Saturday, I've got to say, he churned things around. It was like he was up, dressed, ready to rock and roll, trained properly. We had a bit of banter. Yes, we take the piss out of one another, but it was good. It was really, really good. And then Sunday come even better. He decides he's going to come for a winter walk with me where it was a bit icy. And that was lovely, actually. It was the first time that we've had a walk together and not bickered over something, actually, which was really, really nice. And it does. I really do feel that anybody that walks together or trains together and can get on all the time, especially during lockdown when we can't actually get away from each other, it's like, I think that just proves how much I love him. I really don't care how much he loves me because he's an idiot. Anyway, he wasn't my best friend last night because why? Well, I was woken up 3 times last night. Yeah, 3. The first, my beautiful whiteboard fell off the gym wall and it smashed on the floor. So it woke the whole house up and we were like, what's going on? Is somebody trying to break in? La, 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 la. So that was the first one. Then Simon decides that he is going to snore like you wouldn't believe. He even went to the point of getting these Breathe Right nasal strips, which is meant to help with the snoring. Now, he wore these on Saturday night and I did not hear a peep from him. Then he decides to read the packet and to put them in the proper position, which was higher up on his nasal whatever. And oh my God, it was like, it didn't do a thing. In fact, his snoring was on a new octave level that even the Breathe Right, absolutely useless. So I couldn't help it. Of course, I'm not going to sleep with him doing that. Every other minute I am, and he's, and he starts, and then and he's, goes again. And then just when I started going back off to sleep again, so we had 1 a.m, then this must have been about 2:30, the Simon snoring episodes come in, because it was about 3:15 when this phone or this iPad alarm started going off, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what else could possibly happen? And it was in JJ's room. It was JJ's iPad, and it was an alarm at 3:15 in the morning. So by that point, I'm thinking, this obviously isn't meant to be. I should just get my ass out of bed and start training, because if I go to sleep now and get 15 minutes or half an hour, whatever it was, before the alarm was going to go off, I'm just going to feel like shit. So I just got up, and then I made Simon get up, and we know how that goes. No, actually, he was really good this morning, really, really good. He started squatting again. We're both addressing the mobility issues, reducing the weight. I am doing 2 lots of squats. I'm doing one on a Monday and one on a Friday. On a Monday, I'm doing hypertrophy, so 10 reps. So obviously the weight is significantly lower than normal. And then on a Friday, I'm doing old school bodybuilders, 20 rep sets. And I'm telling you now, the cardiovascular gains that I'm getting from this are unbelievable. In fact, I wanted to share with you that something I learned a couple of weeks back. In fact, that it's now proven that if you just do cardio against just doing weight training, that the cardiovascular benefits are actually far better for you doing resistance training than they are just doing cardio. If you mix the two together, obviously this is going to be like the ultimate. But when you want to try and build muscle, you've got to be careful, because building muscle and resistance training, what it does is it sends a signal to the brain to, I want to build muscle, okay? And when you're sending that signal straight to the brain, the last thing you want to do is then hit it with a load of cardio, which is sending a completely different signal. You know, it's not telling the brain that we need to be efficient with muscle and grow it. It's saying that now all of a sudden we want our bodies to be more endurant and endure cardiovascular gains, which is, yes, going to burn more calories during the session, just about, depending on what kind of session you're doing in the weight room, to be fair. I swear mine would burn far more than any run that I would do, simply because I wouldn't go for a run. But my point being is, if you are just doing cardio and expecting, and because you love it, because you want the cardiovascular benefits, it's now scientifically proven that weight training alone versus cardio alone, the weight training beats it hands down. And do you know how many people still, especially us females, that are just like, no, I can't touch the weights because I don't want to be bulky and I don't want to be this and I don't want to be that. It is just so far from the truth, honestly. And I cannot tell you, I wish to God that I had someone like me talking into a phone, into a camera, into Instagram, every godforsaken week, just ramming it down my throat. Stop doing the cardio. If you want to do some cardio and you want to burn some calories, then go for a walk. Do you know you'll be able to walk far, far longer and burn more calories than you would going on a godforsaken run, which is not only going to make you hungry, it's so easy to eat the calories back like that, because as soon as you stop running, that's it, the calorie burn, it stops. You've burnt the calories during the running, but you can have a handful of nuts and eat that run back very quickly. Whereas weight training might be slightly less calorie burn, but during the course of a day, 24 hours, 48 hours, 36 hours, you're going to be burning, your metabolism's going to be speeding up. If you start giving it that signal by weight training and then cramming a load of cardio on top of that, worst ever, being in a calorie deficit at the same time, all you're going to do, your brain's going to be like, what does she want? Does she want to build muscle? Does she want to get endurance? Because I'm going to prioritize the one that costs the least to hang on to. Unfortunately, guys, muscle is expensive. So what do you think the first thing that your body does? It gets rid of the muscle. I think that's my little rant over and done with. Anyway, happy Monday. Thank you for joining me on The Newbie. And I wish you all a beautiful week.